I rarely do my pop up. I rarely do a pop up, but we got to talk about something real quick. So, all last week, I saw on social media that there was a young woman who she was denied care because of the abortion ban in Georgia. Okay. So, I just saw this all over social media last week. And so now the truth has come forth, right? But mind you, the Dems was riding this all last week because of the abortion ban in Atlanta. So they was riding this all last week. Made people go crazy all over social media like, oh, this woman lost her life because of the abortion ban and all these things. So it made everybody go crazy last week. Even me, I was like, why? Why did she lose her life like that? Why didn't the doctors help her or none of that stuff, right? But mind you, guess what, y'all? She took the abortion pill on her own. Okay? It wasn't nothing wrong with the baby. She took this pill on her own because she didn't want to be pregnant anymore. Okay? So now the truth has come out. The truth is all over social media. Now the truth has come out. Check this out. Listen up. Listen up to this clip real quick. I want y'all to hear it.
To Battleground, Georgia tomorrow, where she is expected to highlight the stories of two Georgia women who suffered preventable abortion care related deaths. The tragic stories of Amber Thurman and Candy Miller are highlighted this week in an investigation by ProPublica. Thurman was a single mother who died of complications from taking abortion pills. She had to wait 20 hours to be approved for a surgery that had been banned that summer in 2022, with few exceptions. Now, Miller was a mother of three who died at home, declining medical care when she also suffered complications from abortion pills because she feared the state's abortion ban. Joining us now, NBC News White House correspondent Mike Memoli. And Mike, we've seen the vice president lean heavily into reproductive rights in her campaign. How are these stories going to be part of the vice president's visit and message tomorrow in Georgia and beyond?
Well, Georgia's Republican governor, Brian Kemp, is disputing the idea that that state's abortion restrictions were responsible for these two women's deaths.
And I'm gonna share something with you. The governor is right. I would dispute that too. It can't be the abortion ban of Atlanta. That's why these women didn't get treated. They first of all, they took the pill. Nobody made them take the pill. They took the pill on their own. They know that this pill gives complications, that something bad could happen. They took this pill on their own, but now they trying to turn it around and blame it on the state. They're trying to blame it on the state. Okay, let's go into it.
That's contradicted, according to this ProPublica reporting. It really is incredible reporting by an independent board of medical experts in that state that did say that these deaths were preventable. In one of these cases of Candy Miller, she was afraid of seeking the kind of care she needed because of the abortion laws in the state and the fear that she would be prosecuted. And so in a campaign in which we tend to talk about these issues in the abstract at a very high level, the vice president is going to travel to Georgia to...
So what that means is that she was fearful to be prosecuted. What that means is that she was far along in her pregnancy and she probably thought that the medication would work. But no, the medication took her life. You see? You see the nonsense. Mind you, she already had a family. She already had a husband. But yet she took this medication and tried to delete this baby, and at the same time she lost her life. I don't know how they spinning this, but how this gonna land. But social media ran with this story last week and was like, oh, because of the abortion ban in Georgia that these women lost their life when they should not have took the pill in the first place. That they was too far gone. They should not have took the pill in the first place. Let's get back to this news story.
up these specific cases, to draw attention to them, to try to call back to that really important moment during her debate with former President Trump when she said this is not something that people asked for, that this is something that people are very much suffering the consequences of across the country. We have seen even before she became the Democratic nominee how much the reproductive rights portfolio was at the top of the vice president's agenda. She traveled often to Georgia to talk about these kinds of cases, and this is a change in the vice president's schedule from the beginning of the week to capitalize, really to draw attention to these stories in real time because they think it's such a powerful illustration of a major voting issue.
Mike Memoli, thank you very much. And joining us now, University of California Davis law professor, an expert on the law, history, and politics of reproduction, Mary Ziegler. Mary, how do these stories of these two women in Georgia and others help form a legal path forward for fighting abortion bans?
Well, we know from other nations that sometimes it takes actual deaths to motivate people to see the need for repeal. Something similar happened in Ireland after a young woman died when her care was delayed because physicians feared violating the nation's then abortion ban. So I think it remains to be seen whether these stories also change the outcome of the election, for example, or give a new impetus to reform.
These stories will not change the outcome of the election, okay? Because any woman that understands how deletions are done, this is not going to change your mind. Because these women knowingly they know, first of all, listen, you know when you're pregnant, okay? That's why they took those pills. They took those pills in the late stages of them being pregnant. And this is what happened. Mind you, we already know there's side effects to taking this type of medication. But this is what they wanted to do. And let me share something with you. If you don't want to get pregnant, they have so many beautiful, okay? They have so many beautiful, okay, plans that will help you not get pregnant. Do you understand? They have 34, I think it's 34 or 32. They have so many, okay, other options that will help you not get pregnant, that it would not lead to this. But when you out here dogging it up, raw dogging it up, this is your problem right here. But they had ran with this all last week, talking about this is why Georgia this and this, all this stuff, making it seem like that Georgia was the problem. But in the reality, it was both of these women who took these pills, and they was not supposed to take these pills in the late stages of their pregnancy. So now we getting the truth. Let's go back into the story.
From the law, we're seeing Governor Kemp and anti-abortion groups denying that these deaths even are attributable to abortion bans. So I think we'll continue to see that being contested.
But again, as Mike just pointed out, the investigation from ProPublica stemmed from this independent board, the State Maternal Mortality Review Committee, and their findings. Are these types of committees all over the country, and how much power do they have when it comes to reproductive rights?
Well, these committees don't have a lot of power when it comes to reproductive rights. That's, of course, in the hands both of largely of legislators, to some degree of state Supreme Courts. And so these medical review boards often are coming in only on the back end to designate these deaths as preventable and connect them to abortion bans. But then it really, I think, is up to voters to hold people in positions of power to change the law, to say that they want that to happen, right? To insist that the law do better to protect their lives and health.
With medication abortion specifically, apparently involved in these two cases out of Georgia, what impact could this have as we see legal challenges to the FDA approval of abortion pills like mifepristone? Of course, one case already made it to the Supreme Court last term, but they didn't actually rule on the merits.
Yeah, that litigation is continuing. We're seeing a number of conservative states trying to step in the shoes of the plaintiffs who were told they didn't have standing to sue and argue that they too can bring challenges to the FDA's approval of mifepristone. If Donald Trump is elected, we're likely to see challenges to mifepristone access rooted in the Comstock Act, which is a 19th century obscenity law. Cutting off access to these pills has been a focal point for the anti-abortion movement, which is unsurprisingly using these deaths to argue that the bans had nothing to do with it, contrary to the findings of the state medical board. It was actually mifepristone. So the way to fix the problem, they're arguing, is to just criminalize abortion everywhere, as opposed to just in the states it's already banned.
One thing we've heard from Republicans, in fact, during the debate, Trump pushed forward this lie about post-birth abortions, which is just murder in all states. So what's your reaction to the GOP continuing to suggest this is the...
So what this newscaster is saying right now, this right here, she's telling the lie. Because when Trump had the debate with Kamala, and he said that after a child is born, the doctor sits with the parent and asks, what do you want us to do? The only thing that Trump messed up on is that he didn't say that a failed deletion. See, a failed deletion, sometimes the baby does not go straight to glory. So now the baby is born. And so now the doctor will sit and talk with the young woman about, or older woman, whatever, about what they're going to do with the baby. Okay? So yes, Trump was right on that, but he should have said failed deletions, and then he would have aced it. Okay? A lot of stuff Trump messed up on. Whoever did some, coaching with him, they should have did better, because he could have hit some key points. He could have hit some key points and would have knocked it out the park. But check this out. The numbers still favored him. How is that? Because we saw that there was 3-on-1. Okay? We saw that there was 3-on-1 because they fact-checked Trump the whole time, but did not fact-check Kamala, right? So this is why his numbers went up by 2 points. Let's get back into the story.
The Democratic position.
It's honestly a little bit puzzling. I think it's puzzling in part because U.S. laws punishing the killing of newborns are harsher than those in most parts of the world, including peer nations in Europe. It's puzzling because Republicans themselves campaigned for and successfully passed a law in 2002 deeming infants born alive after abortion, to the extent that happens at all, persons with rights under the law. So this has always been sort of a solution in search of a problem. I think it just goes to show that Republicans don't really know how to talk about the abortion issue at all. I think they're often better served by talking less about it rather than arguing that their opponents are extremists. It's especially hard because Trump himself often wants to refuse to answer questions about whether he'll take extreme positions like vetoing a national abortion ban.
Mary Ziegler, I appreciate your perspective and all the research that you've done and shedding light on this conversation.
We're done on that one, but check this out. You know why Trump would not answer will he have an abortion ban is because only this. He said he wanted the states to take control of it. He wanted the states to make their decision. That's why he never spoke about deletions, because he wanted the state to stand on it. So I got one of my sisters, she gonna come in and she gonna correct this foolery that we see on social media, because y'all went ham last week. Y'all was going crazy. All y'all, that is pro all this nonsense. Y'all went crazy last week. And y'all was screaming to the heavens, oh no, they deny her care, and that's why she was sent to glory. But that wasn't true. That was not true. She took a pill where she was already far gone, and it went left. Both of the women that the news just talked about, both of them took this pill, and they were already far gone already. And so the pill didn't work the way it was supposed to. Okay, and then one woman, she needed something done. They need to probably clean her out, a DNC. Okay, and so they couldn't do it because the state has the ban up there. Mind you, you was not supposed to take that pill. So whose fault was that? You were not supposed to take that pill, because after you get a deletion, right? After a deletion happened, they supposed to clean your womb. They have to clean you out. So that's the only thing they needed to do. But they had to get the approval, because what she did was not right. She was too far gone. But they not telling that story. They playing that thing to a T. She even talked about that when she was with Oprah. They had her up there with Oprah. She was talking about that too. But they're not telling the full story of what happened to these two young ladies. They're sitting up there saying, oh no, it was because of the abortion ban. Mind you, these two women are grown. They're grown. If you can't advise a man to put on a condom, then you should not be having sex. Yes, I'm letting you know right now. If you can't tell a man to put on a condom, then you should not be having sex. If you're scared to tell a man to put on a condom, you should not be having sex. Here's my sister. She gonna come in and I'm gonna co-sign everything she said.
I say. She's not a victim. She chose to have intercourse. She chose to get pregnant. Then she did not want the twins. And then she went to a doctor, took some pills, and then her life got taken because of the side effects of that said pill. That's not a victim. You can't blame the abortion ban for her death. She chose to take pills that had side effects that killed her. That's her fault. The fact that women can walk around having intercourse, get pregnant, and then play the victim is mind-blowing to me, which is why I don't believe in abortion. The fact that your family is sitting up here supporting your negative behavior, which caused your life to be taken, is why you ended up in that situation. Lack of self-accountability, and it's all black women. No, Tatiana does not feel bad. It's sad that her life was taken, but she allowed her life to be taken because she chose to not be accountable for her actions. Baby, once you get pregnant, why are you going to risk your life on getting an abortion?
Why would
Don't
you?
have intercourse. It's that simple. It is that simple. It's not like there was anything wrong with her body for her not to carry those twins.
Okay, now.
Okay.
We do believe that more than anything else, abortion is racism. It is a way of pruning, if you will, the black population. 78% of your free.
Gotta say, she's.
If that ain't true, I'll be damned. If that ain't true, I will be damned. Because we, listen, black people, we are at 23 million and counting in deletions. If that's not true, I will be damned. Okay? That does not, listen. Deletions were meant for the black community. Deletions was meant for the black community. This is why we right now at 41 million in the United States. We are at 41 million right now in the United States. So these two women lost their life, but it was not because of the abortion ban. It was because they took this pill too late. This pill they took too late. And the baby was already big. This one, the one that lost her life, she was carrying twins and she took this pill. Thinking that this pill would have helped her flush these babies out. Okay? This pill would have helped her flush these babies out. That's what she thought. How is it that they're twin babies? That mean you knew that mean you was far gone, baby. That mean you was far gone and you took these pills. Allegedly, because we gotta say allegedly, people sue you around here. But the news said it, okay? The news said it. Blame the news, damn it. Blame the news. All last week, y'all had social media and a motherfucking uproar. Going crazy. Oh no, the abortion ban, that's why. This is why. The abortion ban, that's why. This is what y'all was saying all last week. And now the truth done came out. And Kamala still running with the lie. Okay? She's still running with the lie to make it seem like it was because of a land abortion ban that this woman lost her life. These two women lost their life. No, these two women lost their life for their negligence. They lost their life for their negligence. Because if you know, the pill tell you when you could take this pill. It tells you when you could take this pill. You cannot take this pill when that baby is already formed in your belly and big. You cannot. You cannot. Okay? Hey, Amanize, what's up, baby? Hey, I see you, baby. So they all making a big stink about this nonsense, but it was these two women who made the choice. How many times have I told y'all that I got blood on my hands? How many times have I said this to y'all? Anybody who follow me all the time, how many times have I said this to y'all? That I have had a deletion. And let me share something with you. You need, every woman who decide to do this deletion, they need to walk into this room before they, you know what I'm saying? Because what they do is they sedate you before you go into this room. Every woman need to walk into that room and lay across that bed. Because when I had to climb up there and lay across there, and they had those 4 chains hanging from the ceiling, okay, to bound you, and then they had that machine, okay, right there, that vacuums that baby out. Every woman need to see that. Y'all do not need to be sedated first. You need to see what the hell going on in that room. And I remember when I laid down on this bed, and I still remember today, and I was young when this happened, but I still remember today like I just woke up in the morning. And it still hurt today, okay? It still hurt. I remember this smooth like Sunday morning, honey. I could replay this thing smooth like Sunday morning. This woman said, baby, count to 3. And tears was coming down my eyes. She said, baby, count to 3. 1, 2, 3. And I was out. And then the next few minutes, all I know, whatever they was doing, then they moved me out. All I'm saying is that we should not be up here believing false stories. These women got sent to glory because they took this pill. That the pill tell you how many weeks you supposed to be. That the pill tell you, okay? That the pill tell you how many weeks you supposed to be before you take this pill. It tells you. It tells you. And so yet and still, both of these women took these pills, and one already knew she was having twins. You already knew you was having twins, meaning you was far gone. You already knew. But yet and still, you took those pills, baby. You took those pills. You took those pills. You was already far gone, and you took those pills, baby. Ain't nobody tell you to do that. Ain't nobody tell you to do that. I'm sorry. Okay? And to the families, my condolences. But we cannot get up here and try to hold the state accountable when your daughters made the decision to do that. I'm sorry. There's no way. Okay? On an abortion ban in your state. Why are you even taking this pill when you already knew you was far gone? So you already knew you were having twins. You already knew you were having twins. And then you went and took this pill. You were trying to take 2 lives. And your own life got taken. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Lord, ain't that something? I think that a lot of us don't understand what we're doing. And then you cry, woe is me. But let me share something with you, baby. Accountability is needed. Accountability is needed. You know you was already far, and then you decided to take this pill and delete this baby. What you thought was going to happen? I'm quite sure whoever sold that pill to you told you how that was going to play out. I'm quite sure they told you there's a lot of side effects. And what she needed was not no life surgery like they said. That's a lie. All they needed was a DNC to clean her out. And so the hospital was scared because what she did. So they were trying to get approval. Now, if they want to blame anybody and who they could blame, they would have to blame the girl. Because you took those pills. Knowingly took those pills. You cannot blame the state for that. Only thing that would have had to happen is they would have had to do a DNC and clean her out. And they didn't want to do it. Not saying they didn't want to do it, because you must protect life. But what she did was something that was illegal. So they had to make sure that what they were about to do was right on the hospital part. Because the hospital can be liable. Now, first thing that all doctors know, okay, is I must do no harm. I must do no harm. But when the patient do harm to themselves, what do we call that, damn it? What do we call that, damn it? Do you understand? What do we call that? It's painful. This is the uncomfortable conversation that nobody wants to have with our young. Use a condom. Get on some birth control. And if you don't want to use a condom, you don't want to get on no birth control, baby, you better close your legs. Close your legs, damn it. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. Close your legs. If you don't want to use protection, you don't want to use a condom or anything, you don't want to protect yourself from any type of diseases, okay? Stop fucking. That's what you need to do. That's exactly what you need to do. Because we got this culture that it's okay to be out here fucking everybody and get pregnant and stuff like that. 2 melanated babies. 2 melanated young women have lost their life because they were trying to take their baby's life. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? 2 young melanated women trying to take the lives of their babies, and they wind up losing their own lives. Ain't that something? All last week, Green Beans, you remember all last week, they had over social media about the young girl who they said she needed a life-changing surgery or a procedure done so that she didn't lose her life because of the abortion ban. You remember last week? They had it all over social media. It was going crazy. People were saying, oh, it's because of the abortion ban. They blaming Atlanta, all this nonsense. And come to find out, both of these 2 girls from Atlanta took the abortion pill, and they was both far gone already, that the abortion pill would go haywire, that it would go left, and they would lose their life. Now, the one girl, she lost her life because of taking the pill. She ain't need no procedure. She just lost her life. The other one lost her life because those babies were not alive anymore, okay? And so she needed a DNC. Okay, she needed a DNC to clean herself out. Okay, and so the hospital got scared and was like, wait a minute, she did something that's not right. She took these pills that was not right. And so now we got to get approval before we do the DNC. So I don't blame the hospital. Who I blame is the person who tried to delete those children. That's who I blame. But Kamala gonna run with this all over social media and say, oh, it's because of Trump and the judges, the 9 justices, that, Roe is not here no more. And so women are losing their life. Let me share something with you. When Roe was in effect, women were still losing their lives. This is why the doctor make you sign all those paperwork when you get a deletion. Because if you pass away in there, they won't get punished. So women pass away from deletions too. That's the truth. That's the uncomfortable truth they don't want to tell you. That's right. That's right. Those waivers, they sure do. That's the uncomfortable truth they don't want to tell you. Now listen, I can't tell anybody what to do. That's your business. Whatever you do is your business. All I'm telling you is that am on the other side of the fence. I know what it looked like after you have a deletion. I'm on the other side of the fence. Baby. Baby. Let me say it one more time. Baby. That thing mess with your mind, honey. They don't tell you that. That thing mess with your mind. And it hurts you sometimes. But yet and still, they're rallying our women, telling our women that this makes sense. What makes sense is to close your motherfucking legs. That's what makes sense. Close your legs. And if you going to sleep with a man and he tell you, oh, I don't wear condoms, then you put your motherfucking clothes on and you say you don't get no ass. That's what you do. That's what you do, damn it. That's what you do. That's what you do. You worried about disappointing somebody, you better worry about getting pregnant. You worried about disappointing somebody, you better worry about getting pregnant. It's so sad how we try to justify deletions of our children, especially in the Black community. We try to justify it. And why I'm saying to my sisters is because we are the top when it comes to deletions. No other race hits us like nobody else hits the top like us. 23 million. None of the other races in America right now come close to how many deletions that African Americans have had. No other race come close. Not even. 23 million and counting. Do I feel bad that she lost her life? Do I? I feel bad if she have children. I feel bad for the children. I feel bad for the children. But for her, I don't. I don't feel bad. She took those pills. She knew she was having twins. She was trying to delete those babies. And her life got taken. Those babies passed on to glory. But her life got taken because she needed the DNC to clean all that out. Because after you have a deletion or after you take this pill, and if this baby is big, you need a DNC to clean you out. Every woman knows that if you had a miscarriage, okay, if you ever had a deletion before, you know you need them to clean you out. So she went and done this and know she had to go to the hospital. What did she think was going to happen? That Atlanta got this abortion ban. What she thought was going to happen? What did she think? Because the hospital wouldn't know what the hell to do. Because they don't do deletions at the hospital. They don't. They don't do deletions at the hospital. You got to go to a clinic. You got to go to a clinic. I'm sorry, y'all. Something in my ear. You got to go to the clinic. The hospital don't have that kind of equipment to do all that. So they wondering what the hell is going on. Anyway, Kamala gonna run with this. It's gonna be a whole fiasco. But now we know the truth that these women took these DNCs. I'm sorry, that these women took these deletion pills, these abortion pills. They took them on their own. Nobody told them to take it. One took it. She knew she was too far gone. She was scared to go to the hospital, and so she laid in her house and she passed on to glory. She did that on her own. She did that on her own. The other one already knew she was too far gone. She had 2 babies in her belly. She knew that, and yet and still she took the pill. Okay? And yet and still she took the pill. I gotta go, y'all. Everybody have a good evening. I just wanted to do that pop-up real quick. Take heed to the message, y'all. if you like the content, okay? If you like the content, like and subscribe to the page, okay? Donate to the page as well if you like the content. And I see y'all tomorrow, God willing. Y'all take heed to the message.